Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. Of course, we here are the Watch List, your virtual weekly TV guide, where we review and talk about all the shows that come out across all streaming platforms and set you up to what to watch and queue up for the following week. Of course, I'm not here alone. I'm joined by my very lovely co-host who's having a little bit of a downtime with his fantasy football. My condolences. Of course, that is to our very own Live from Houston, the ambassador of love himself, TV guru, Senor Chewy. How you doing?
Stupid Miles Gaskin. Dolphins suck.
Yeah, so you rely on Dolphins, you rely on Jets. This is what happens, guys.
This is what happens.
It's a lesson to anybody out there playing fantasy football. Don't trust Jets, don't trust Dolphins. That's just words to live by here. So, but you can't trust on us to give you good opinions on all the shows coming out here. So we're gonna get into it. Chewy. This was a good week, I think personally. We'll start with some of the light stuff. We'll start with Netflix because we should always start with Netflix for the most part. And we got the movies that made us season three, right? This kind of
part three
comedic docu-series. They kind of give us a behind the scenes of a lot of popular films over the years. Before I think the last one was Forrest Gump, Back to the Future, Pretty Woman,
Jurassic Park.
So we're talking about big films here. And this one's a new season. This is one I've always enjoyed. It's fun. It's really well made. And here we focus on. Got some big films. We got to go Robocop. We got, of course, the horror trinity, if you will, with Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween, and focusing on the originals and how they came out, and how they were made, and all the obstacles to overcome. It's actually very fascinating. Not to be outdone, we also get, of course, things like Aliens, which is the other big one here as far as the big film, James Cameron's Aliens, which is actually a very cool behind the look scenes of that, and it's funny how they talked about the making of the Alien Queen. It was actually made of paper bags, like trash bags, garbage bags, and all that.
Plastic garbage bags.
Yeah, so very cool. I've seen most of them. I haven't seen all of them yet, but this is one that just always recommend if you're a cinephile, you're a fan of these films, particularly when you're probably around our age. You grew up with some of these movies. I think Coming to America is one that's on there I haven't seen yet.
That's the last one.
Yeah, but that being said, Chewy, this is good to watch, ain't it?
I know it's a lot of fun. I mean, the Halloween ones were, like I said, I'm not. I remember Halloween. I wasn't a big fan of Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, I loved that movie when it came out way back when. Mm-hmm. Completely forgot Johnny Depp actually came out of that movie.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, wow, long time ago. But the other ones were definitely great interest to me. The Robocop. I mean, we all love the classic Robocop. I mean, the stop motion animation combined with the live action stuff. Obviously, it's a product of its times and the technology at that time. Obviously, CGI what it was today. But you did what you did. I mean, Star Wars did that with pictures and models and whatnot.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun because they brought back a lot of the with that one of the aliens. They brought back the heavy hitter actors that were part of that movie.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver was on there.
Yeah, I was like, wow, Sigourney Weaver. Paul Reiser, the guy who played Dre. They had the guy. I mean, the lady who was Vasquez. I was like, that can't be her.
Oh man,
I was like, she was.
Ooh, she's not rocking anymore, dude. Wow.
No offense.
She's rocking them donuts, But damn.
I mean, she was a badass character, man. She was awesome. Then pull up, carrying the big ass, heavy duty and anti-tank cannons on her and stuff, and to see how she is. Hey, man, life change, right?
It happens.
Shit happens.
It is what it is.
But it was very. I mean, both of those I love those a lot because those are great movies that we grew up with those two movies in the mid '80s, and they were key to kind of getting us into sci-fi and action movies and to learn the behind the scenes with James Cameron and the other director did Robocop. It's very interesting how those came about. You look at them now; these were obviously highly successful movies, but at the time when you're making them, everyone's like worried: is this going to be what it's going to be? This is going to turn out how you want it to turn out, and that's the key.
That's always the key.
These weren't slam dunks by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and the budgets were low, particularly with the horror ones like Halloween, which was made for like $1 million or $300,000, which is equivalent to $1 million now, which is not a lot of money, and for a movie anyway. And it made back then 70, which is probably like over 200 something now, so that's a monster hit, right? For the budget,
was made for 15.5. 15.5 Aliens.
Yeah.
A sci-fi heavy, 2-hour, 220 movie, mid-80s for 15.5 and equivalent to what it ended up grossing is just ridiculous, man.
No, exactly. That's what it tells good filmmaking, and then they dive into that, how to cut corners and stuff like that. So it's a fascinating. It's really fun. It's done so comedically. with all the edits, the edits of the film, the movies in there to describe things.
No, yeah, the narrator,
Yeah, the
I mean,
narrator's
it, like,
fantastic. Yeah.
for example, like in the Aliens, when they keep referring to Aliens 2, and then it goes, no,
Oh
Aliens.
yeah, aliens. Yeah,
uh,
James Cameron get mad.
yeah,
Yeah.
and how the Hicks character was changed midstream because of an issue and with a drug issue with the actor
Which
who's
I didn't
playing
know. Yeah, I didn't
Hicks.
know that either.
Yeah, and they bring in Michael Bain. First they say Michael Bean, and they show the Bean character, the British
Oh
comedian.
yeah.
I was like, no, Michael Bain. Like, I like how they write the comedy. It's pretty
No,
funny.
it's pretty
But
funny. Yeah.
that's something I had no idea, right? I mean,
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
yeah,
I mean, I was like, okay. So some things I know, some things I didn't. So, like I said, you learn lines. It's just fascinating how these things come that you think. I mean, it looks so easy when you see it on screen, but it's a lot of work and a lot of pain. Yeah, shit, they got to go through.
yeah.
But that was
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
And this is one that I'll buy that for $1. For any Robocop fan out there.
I still don't understand that joke, right?
I don't know. It's just funny though. I'll buy that for $1. So,
and every time, speaking of it, every time I see that movie now, all I can think of him is Red, because he was obviously he was on that '70s show,
yeah,
the father.
the father.
And
Yeah.
every time I see him, that's all I can see him now as that character.
Yeah.
I can't see him as his evil gangster, cop killer.
Go figure. But yeah, it's a really fun watch. For me, it's a high recommend, no doubt about it. Another one which I'm definitely buying for $1, and this is one that dropped on Hulu on Wednesday, and that is Dopesick. This is I think it's a limited series starring the amazing Michael Keaton. I love Michaal Keaton. Not to dismiss Rosario Dawson, who's also in this. Will Coulter, who just got cast in Adam Warlock in Guardians 3 coming out. Good series. This is obviously focusing on the big pharma issue with OxyContin. Based on a true story where everybody they kind of advertise it as non-addictive, but it was quite the opposite. It was an epidemic with that. People, that the crime rates went up. Obviously overdosing, et cetera. So it's kind of cool because
this is obviously based on real, true history, real facts.
No,
the facts are
the facts
what they are.
Right, exactly. And Michael Keaton plays like this doctor in a very small town, which they focus on the small towns first. Michael Keaton works in a mining town, so people always have natural pains and shoulders back, et cetera, from the manual labor. But it kind of goes into that, and it kind of jumps between timelines, which is cool. How obviously focusing on the big farm and the family who developed it, and obviously we got Rosario Dawson. She had investigated initially. Now she's back on the case.
This is definitely not a linear show because it jumps. We started '86, jumps to 2005, goes back to '96, jumps to '99. But each episode they jump around those because they're trying to weave the story of cause and effect. Right. And the effect, and the cause, the effect, the cause. So kind of move both from the law enforcement perspective, and obviously from the big pharma, they're the big baddies here, and for good reason for how they, I guess, created this market and created the means to profit from it, essentially. And that's what I found with wrestling, because I was in the first episode. They lay out the case where the DOJ is trying to make the case, right, to get information, how they went about. Starting with a simple PSA, but it wasn't a PSA, to then obviously bankrolling these American pain councils or academies that were meant to appear independent, which were not. And even what I found interesting was like the whole creation of the pain chart, right?
Oh, yeah,
that was a Purdue. I mean, I was like, oh shit, man! I see that every time I go to that stupid pain chart with my change 0 to 10. Like, really? Bastards, man. So, but it's very interesting. But obviously, it affecting real people, real lives, and how from the people who are taking it to the law enforcement trying to punish it to, the Purdue Pharma profiting from it, and everyone else in between. How they lay out the story and the facts of what happened.
Yeah, the strategy behind the pharmaceutical sales team that go behind it, and how they tell them to
that was ridiculous,
to market the product. But it happens all the time. And it's just that's kind of the way it is. The salesman, that's what they do.
With them, because they put. I mean, they'll do big bar of steel to get in front of doctors for it. Not just this medication, but all medication, and touting. But obviously the big part of this was the FDA or someone at the FDA who kind of gave them out. And then they ran with that and used that as a means. Hey, FDA said this is great. FDA says it's this, and kind of everyone just kind of trusting each other and not really investigating what was really going on.
Yeah, this is one I think it's so really well done. I love Michael Keaton, but and this is one I'm highly recommending. Again on Hulu, I think it's a good watch. I think the first 3 episodes right? Were dropped.
First few episodes
Yeah,
drop, and
yeah.
it comes out new episodes every Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yes.
this for me is just a right around the must watch list. I think. It's
Mm.
really good, really good. Another one which is on the other side of the spectrum for me anyway. This came on
Yeah.
Disney Plus, and this was a show called
Oh,
Just Beyond. This I guess anthology
I
is
knew
based
I
off a
knew
kid's
this was
book.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's
I
based on
saw two.
R.L. Stein. R.L.
Yeah,
Stein short story. So he's a writer of in one of those about Goosebumps,
right,
and that was made into a movie.
sure.
They're coming out with another movie. I can't remember what it's called. While the Clock. So they came out. I remember coming last year. I can't remember. Also with Jack Black. So that's he's on R.L. Stein. Uh, I've never read any of his books or stories. So I'm not sure if these are meant for kids or adults or a mixture between. But this is obviously when this was Disney, I knew okay, this was not going to be heavy horror
No,
this is family friendly. I
it's just
don't know if to call it
I
horror.
saw
This short story, Halloween short stories is what this is,
right,
right?
but there's no weight to it. There's no. It's just and listen. I mean, I'm sure this has a niche for families, and I get it for the kids will probably enjoy it. They really would. But ultimately, this is like if you've seen stuff on Disney Channel, you know what it's geared for, the tone of it. I mean, the kids are always
Yeah.
smarter than the adults are morons, the kids are the greatest thing ever, yada, 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 which happens nowhere except on Disney Plus. I get it. But it just doesn't work. It's just not, honestly, listen, it's not, I saw two, I'm like, no, I can't. And good concepts, right? But it just don't dive into them enough, right? It's just like the very surface level and all that. And it just didn't work. This is not a good show. I just, yeah.
No, it's a Disney
Yeah.
show, but it's not meant for Halloween horror fans already. It's not.
It's
It's
not,
not. It's
right.
just I don't even think it's even borderline scary.
It's not.
It's
It's not
just
at
kind
all.
of
It's just it's not even
we have one with aliens. We
yeah.
have one with witches. We have one with I don't even know. The first one was
That's the one with the kind of
yeah.
like the Stepford Wives kind of deal, right?
Yeah, Stephen
Yeah,
White. Yeah, yeah,
kind of
exactly,
thing,
exactly.
brainwashing,
So,
yada yada yada.
yeah,
But yeah, it just doesn't work. It's just I don't know. I didn't like it. I'm not recommending it at all. I mean, if you got a family, check it. I get it. Kids will probably enjoy it. I think. I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
even that may not be an accurate statement, but that being said, yeah, that dog's not hunting. The other one
Of course.
here is one a show we've been a fan of for the last few seasons, and that's The Sinner. On USA, which dropped its first episode this past Wednesday. Of course, The Sinner. Listen, any show that stars ex-president Bill Pullman, come on, you have to give it a shot, right? He defended us from Independence Day, and now he's defending us against crime. He's a cop, and now he's retired now this fourth season. But obviously, he's a detective, dealing with a lot of effed up shit, and he's still reeling from the effects of season 3. And he's retired for over a year now. They move away to some island to take some time off or whatever the case is. Him and his girlfriend, whatever, that he ended up meeting in season 3. And now, he finds out that his girl's missing, and he gets back involved into doing what he does, and that's of course investigating, doing his detective thing, right? Detective thing. It was a good episode. I mean, it's only one episode. But I thought it was really good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm hoping it's not what we get season 3.
No, I think
Season 3
this
was a
one.
letdown, but
Well, season 3 there was no mystery. I mean, I think it was
it really
front and
wasn't. Yeah,
center. I mean, we knew
yeah.
who it was. It kind of said in the first episode, "This is the guy," right? There was no mystery. Where the other ones where there was something was trying to find out with why they did it, who they did it, what came
Right.
about, right? They had the
Which is what
suspect,
you
but
want
we
to
didn't
see out
understand
of a
why.
detective. Yeah, if you
Yes.
want to see about a dark noir kind of detective story, you want to see the mystery, right? So here,
Yes.
he sees this girl who he meets early in the show,
And it's
and
part of the obviously she's there's a famous family in this island, wherever or
right, exactly. Yeah,
well
the big
off.
fisherman.
Yeah,
The
big fiction
fisherman. Yeah,
family. Yes.
exactly. And he talks to her, and he has insomnia. So at nighttime, he's walking around and sees her, I guess, talking to somebody, an argument or something, getting away from some guy, runs away, they end up at some cliff, and then she turns around, looks at him, or thinks he looks at him, and she jumps off. But they can't find the body, and so he gets kind of thrust, and it was reported that they saw her somewhere else after the jump. He called in for the jump. So obviously there's some mystery there, and that's what's intriguing. That's what it should be like, right? They're not showing you that someone threw her off, and we know who it is from the beginning of the show. Which episode 3, season 3, they were just a huge mistake in terms of the mystery. So yeah, it's good. It's a show I've always recommended. First 2 seasons, you can catch it all on Netflix. Watch the first 2. You watch the third one, I guess, because there is some ties into this season. But it's good, man. And I like the show. I really do. And I think you're on the same page with that one.
Yeah, it's one of the few USA shows that I'll
This is
watch.
probably,
I've
the
enjoyed it,
only
so.
USA show that's good right now. Yeah, for the most part. Maybe
Right now,
there's
yeah.
another one I can't think of it. And USA we started off with the shows pretty good, but now it's like, yeah, it's this and that's it. And nothing else support USA by watching the show. It's good though. Yes, it's enjoyable. A good dark mystery is what this is. So I like it a lot. Another one here, and Chewy, I don't think you saw this one, but this is one where I'll talk about, because last time I mentioned a show, of course, I don't want to toot my own horn and all that, but they recommend Squid Game before it was a thing, right? As we watch Squid Game is good. Now all of a sudden it's got 100 million viewers, the biggest show on Netflix of all time. I'm not taking credit
Yeah,
for that.
you got your hand out. Where's my
I'm just
coin?
saying,
Where's my
listen, I'll
coin?
get a little taste over here. That's all I'm asking for a lot. I'm not a greedy guy, but I deserve something for recommending a show.
Can I get more porridge,
Yeah, yeah,
sir?
exactly. Please, sir, a little more. Give us something. I'm not a greedy guy. Listen, I recommended the show before anybody was talking about Squid Game. I was talking about it here first. So, but another one that came, another Korean show that caught my attention. It's called My Name. Chewy, I doubt you saw this or have seen this or whatever. Maybe you did. I don't know. But it's a Korean show, obviously. It's a crime action thriller show. Revolves around this young girl who she's about 16, 17 years old, lives on her own because her father hasn't seen her father in a while, and he's involved with this crime boss in Korea and all drug dealing, etc., etc. One day he shows up to go visit her, the father anyway, and he ends up getting shot right in front of the door, you know. And so now she's hell bent on figuring out who killed the dad and all that. She goes to the police. The police are like, yeah, whatever, right? It's just some guy, another crime guy died. Who cares, right? Essentially. So she ends up meeting with the crime boss, who he knows of her, and the crime boss is really good friends with her father. They're working together for a while, so he decides to bring on board the crime organization. And upon knowing that there was presumably there's a cop who killed her dad, they had to plan to kind of fake her death and put her into the police force, a la like The Departed. So now she's in the force trying to work her way up the ranks to figure out who killed her father, while at the same time towing that line between, I got to do my cop thing, but I got to protect, of course, the crime boss and vice versa. It's really good, man. Really good show. I'm really enjoying this one here. And the action, like its first episode is a lot of setup, which is fine, right? Towards the end, it's like, oh shit, you get the action. The action is brutal. It's very well shot. It's really good. But episode 3 and 4, you get some really nice, brutal, like action-packed scenes. It kind of reminded me of Gangs of London, like in that scale. Not quite as good, but along those lines, Chewy. But it's really well done, man. The scene and the focus here, they don't do a lot of storylines, just focusing on the girl, focusing on the crime boss, and them trying to figure it out. Characters are in there, but they don't tell these other side stories and all that, which a lot of Korean shows tend to do. This one doesn't do that. Cool action, good story. It's derivative of The Departed somewhat, but it's fine. But it's really good. I mean, it's not going to take off like Squid Game is, but it's one I'm really recommending. I'm really enjoying what they gave us here, Chewy. I think if you got time, anybody out there, I think it's a show you guys should definitely catch. Again, My Name on Netflix. Yeah, I know subtitles, God forbid, but you can watch Squid Game with subtitles. You can watch My Name, for Christ's sake. But it's really good. I really enjoy this one, so this one I definitely recommend. Last one, Chew, I let you, because I don't see the show. Of course, it's You on Netflix, or dare we say Dexter Light on Netflix.
Or Dexter Heavy.
Awesome, Dexter. So Chewy, and this season dropped. I mean, you're a fan of the show. Thoughts?
I am a big fan of the show. I think what I love most about this show, season 3, is the main character, right? The Joe character, who is the introduced as I don't know if serial killers are apt description, but he's definitely a killer, right? And we get it from the perspective of we see the show, but we get his thoughts and what he's thinking, and he says something, but in his mind he's thinking something else, right? And so that's what I've enjoyed about this show. It's a very, very good drama. It has times where it's a little gory as far as with the murder scene. It's got nice twists. It's progressed nicely through 3 seasons. I actually just got ready for season 4, so obviously it's got a big fan base, and it's a great watch, man. I mean,
I get it.
it's
People
just
like it.
it's just a yeah. I mean, like I said, if you see Dexter or you're a fan of Dexter, you would definitely be a fan of this type of show.
Yeah, no, like I said, there's never a chance. I never got on board with this, so like I said, I have no opinion on it. But I know of it, of course, and every time I hear it, I'm thinking Dexter, right? Dexter's great, so I love Dexter. So, okay, fine. I can. People tell me like, sure, I get it. If it's close to Dexter, then sure, absolutely. But no, yeah, there's one that I guess that I just, and now it's already 4 seasons. I'm not going back, personally, anyway.
No,
But
no 3. I mean, maybe. I
maybe.
don't know. I don't know.
Again, there's a lot of stuff to
maybe.
watch, and it's like, it's
Yeah.
hard to go back and watch 3 seasons when we got shows dropping weekly, right? And good shows. But that being said, that's what the new shows this week. So obviously, You is a show you should watch. My Name, absolutely, I think is near must watch. Near must watch. Dopesick, I think is must watch. Chewy, I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Agreed.
and the movies that made us is really good as well. So there's some good stuff on there. Just Beyond's the only one I'll say, nah, don't even bother. If you got kids, sure. Pop the kids in front of the TV. Maybe they'll enjoy it. Yeah. If you don't, then don't even try. And of course, The Sinner's one that if you haven't seen, you can always catch. You like catching old shows. It's on Netflix. I definitely recommend that. But that being said, Chewy, we can't leave out setting up next week, right? Set up what's coming up besides another Chewy loss in fantasy football.
Looks like it. Looks like it.
I don't think I'm wrong about that. The Chewy's team is not. The Chewy's team is like they're just beyond. Maybe it's good for kids, but that's about it. But that being said, a lot of good stuff across all platforms here, which doesn't always happen. I think on the 21st we got on the Peacock. The Peacock itself, we got the Girl in the Woods, which is I think based off source material, right? Or a novel or a series of books.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe so.
I'm not familiar with what this is. I saw a quick teaser trailer. Looked pretty cool. It's kind of like it's like this girl. I guess it's girl.
Scary, a little mystery.
Yeah, kind of involved in it. So Peacock's up and down with the shows, but when they've hit, and when they're not, they give us One of Us Is Lying. Not a bad show, but it's not that good. But yeah, that comes up. And this week we got on the 22nd we got an animated show I don't know much about. It's called The Inside Job on Netflix. It looks like it could be interesting. I might give it a shot. True, I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it or not.
No, I haven't seen it. I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, I guess it's a scientist, and doing this part of the vision with it, kind of like the Men in Black, I guess would be the best way to describe it, and things going on, and I guess they introduced a new guy to the team who's more team friendly because he's very abrasive with the squad. The squad's made up of really weird aliens and shit like that. It was kind of fun. It was a kind of a Simpsons kind of thing, not like that, but along that tone. It could be interesting. Okay, that's Inside Job. That's this Friday. Also on Friday on Netflix, Lock and Key season 2. A show I think we both like that show, Chewy, right? I mean, this is kind of a base of a book as well, no? Like a series of books.
Graphic novel.
Graphic novel. Yes. Okay, let's say whatever. It's based off existing source material, and it's very cool. Show.
I think this season, I think your complaint last year was it didn't take enough. It didn't go deep enough in the dark elements that are represented in the show. It kept it, too light in your opinion.
I still liked it.
And what I've seen, but what I've seen from the trailers and information for, I think it definitely takes a much darker tone this year. That's more true to how it's portrayed in the graphic novel.
Oh, that's good to know because that's a really cool show. If you haven't seen it, it's a cool show to catch up on. It's a fun, good mystery, fantasy, whatever. So it's a really interesting show. Another one which I'm really looking forward to, and maybe because Sam Neill's in it, and he's from Jurassic Park, so I'm all on board. And that is Invasion on Apple Plus. It comes out on Fridays about an alien invasion. It's pretty simple. It's in the title, but the production, which is unsurprising. Apple Plus gives you incredible production value. There's no question. This thing looks really good. Looks like it's focusing on Sam Neill's character. There's a soldier and a family. So yeah, this looks an alien invasion. I'm in just by that I'm in Apple Plus. So this I'm kind of really looking forward to. I think Chewy probably dropped 3 episodes. I guess like they normally do. I don't know, maybe.
They usually 1 or 2, so we'll see. Maybe sometimes even 1. We'll see because obviously they still got Foundation,
right?
Which is still dropping on Fridays. Which I am loving that show, man. I don't know what the critics are thinking.
We'll probably talk about the show. I haven't seen the last one, but yeah, I'm liking it. Not loving. I knew this was more for you than it was for me, but it's incredibly well made. I think I'm still recommending the Foundation. If you haven't seen that, catch it on Apple Plus. It's good. Depending who you are, you probably would think it's great. Yeah, you might think it's
some
great.
Some guys like to be spooned like little babies.
No, it's not about that. No, of course not.
The plane.
So some people do.
And
some
guys
people
can
too.
Some guys can cut their own steaks. Thank you very much.
Sometimes they do, but it's to each their own. But so I think this is a divisive kind of show because it's very heady and people don't like heady stuff. They just don't. So either way, and of course we get a big movie dropping on HBO Max. That's Dune. Of course, Denis Villeneuve directing this one, starring everybody in Hollywood. Apparently, this movie's got a ridiculous cast. Momoa, Josh Brolin, Isaac. Yeah, stupid deal.
John Chalamet. Zendaya, whatever.
Yeah, Rebecca Ferguson's
Tom Hardy's girlfriend.
yeah, exactly. Rebecca Ferguson.
Everyone.
Yeah,
it's like who wants to be in the movie? Raise your hand.
Apparently, yeah, it's probably a line. There's probably more people I didn't even notice. But
Drax. I forgot Drax.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. The Batista. But yeah, this comes out on HBO Max. I saw it already last week. I drop reviews on this channel all the time, so you guys can see my review of it. But I'm sure we'll talk about it once Chewy sees it. I'm sure he's gonna watch it. Well, I know you're watching it this week
Yeah.
on HBO Max. So we'll probably talk about that as well. But that's coming out for you guys in case you guys forgot. So that being said, Chewy, there we go. That's today's list here. You know, some good stuff, and hopefully next week lives up to the billing. You know, I'm hoping Invasion hits. If that one doesn't hit, I'm disappointed. I'm not worried about Lock and Key, to be honest with you.
No, I'm all in.
Yeah, so
Invasion. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. But that being said, Chewy, thanks again. Good luck this week, and hope you don't lose by 50, only by 30 or 40 this time around. Don't forget to subscribe, like us. Again, I got Nerd Splaining on here. We go all deep dive in all things nerd. I got all my reviews that come out all the movies early, and appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.
And at some point we'll get these other.
We have a new show which we're trying to get going. We have some difficulties with the other guests, but hopefully we can iron that out. No, I promise.
People moving, people with COVID. Geez Louise,
it's a mess. This feels like the new show feels like Chewy's fantasy team is just all over the place. Not much success. But hopefully we can turn it around.
I'm going to IR. I'll see you in 3 weeks.
we can change all that. So that being said, guys, we appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.